Welcome to Xbox Uncut's episode 204. We're back for another week of video game news, discussions, talking about that Xbox One X. This week we have the wonderful Steph. Welcome to the show, Steph. Yeah, he just joined, so I'm not sure if he's talking. We have Will. What's going on, Will?
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I might have stepped over Steph's intro. Are you there, Steph? No.
Says he is. I do not hear Steph yet.
Oh, all right, well.
He just
Sorry about
bounced
that.
out. Maybe he's trying to get his mic together. Well, he'll be back shortly.
Probably. Yeah.
And we have Jason. What's going on, Jason?
What's up? Trying to look if there's a... Eric said Eric is snoozing on Steam. So.
Yeah. Now, Tim might be on the show later. He forgot he's out and about doing his thing with his family, so he might jump on in a little bit. Depends on what time he gets home. But for until then, let's talk about some video games, guys. I mean, the Xbox One X came out, so we got a ton to talk about on that front. I think Halo 5 kind of has now become one of the best looking games of the generation.
Oh, yeah.
I know you talk about Giant Bomb determines what I say, and Giant Bomb says it's ugly.
Maybe.
I think it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, it does. It gave it quite a new life.
In a great way.
Yeah, definitely.
It was interesting to see Digital Foundry said that before the patch, that it actually had better texture filtering than patched. Because of I guess, to do a little bit less texture filtering to go with the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
What the hardware does. I guess just to save on power. That way it could hit 4K, way more often. Or, it does hit 4K most of the time. It's just there's points where it drops really heavy stuff.
Yeah, right about that. Very interesting. I kind of wish they had the option to switch between like pre-patch and post-patch. Are you able to like toggle that or no? You have to kind of just take it.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, just have to take it like a man,
Pretty much, yeah.
I see Dustin has a cool new hat as well.
Yes, I do. I got my Kingdom Come hat. It's awesome.
Nice. It's courtesy of Rick.
Yes. Rick was nice enough to send us a couple hats. I know he was giving away a scarf today. I'm kind of jealous because it's fucking getting cold outside. It's going to be 29 degrees tonight around here.
Oh, yeah, it's cold as
hell. It
hell.
shows you that Rick doesn't love us.
Rick would have thought about it. He heard me coughing last week. He should have been like, you know what? Dustin needs a scarf.
Send him some Kingdom Come cough drops.
Yeah. I'll take
nice.
whatever I can get. Cough drop wise.
Rick's the man. I love you, Rick.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We love you, Rick.
Okay, so it's over. See you guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for this week's podcast. Thank you so much.
Rick's great. We'll see you later.
Rick. Kingdom Come, bitches.
Yeah, February.
So, do you guys have like a top, so what do you guys want to start out with first? You
let's
guys
go through the news, and then we didn't get any letters
I made
this week.
notes. Believe it or not, I actually sat down and put the notes.
I would ask everybody to please write us in at letters@xboxuncut.com. Bring us some topics, What's your favorite Xbox One X moments?
Tell us what we did right. Tell us what we did wrong. Call us assholes. Say hi. Whatever.
Do your thing. Let us know what's up. Now, GameStop supposedly nearly completely sold out of the Xbox One X and for its first 24 hours. Nearly. It didn't sell completely out, but I mean,
it is a
we don't really
$500
know
console.
the exact amount of consoles that they went through either. So,
yeah,
you got to figure that.
I mean, it must have been a good amount.
It
must have been a good amount because you look online and I mean, the stores are getting like 5 to 10, allotments.
Yeah. Now, the analysts have come out and said that they're Because this is kind of go right into the next story, because I think it kind of touches on both. That they have increased their sales forecast for the Xbox One X in 2017 from 500,000 to 900,000 units. And I still think that's kind of low. I think it's going to be more than that, but maybe I'm the crazy one. But
Yeah, I think that's lowballing it too. I think he'll suppress that before the first month.
Yeah.
If not quicker than that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think of. I mean, I'm sure it's sold out. It's just I'm not sure if this is
How
like a
many
wide
units?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very. It's always a mystery with Microsoft. You never quite know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's very what do you call it? What's the word?
Well, it's a thing where I've
mystery.
seen certain like stores that'll have
Yeah.
like 10 extra Scorpio editions,
Yeah.
and then I'll see people say that there's none in like 100 miles. So
Yeah, I was gonna say well, I was gonna say the word is anecdotal, but I guess it does depend on where the distribution of the stores and where you live, and that's all that stuff. I mean, I was able to get mine through Best Buy, online. Somehow I was able to grab one, like it wasn't last minute, but it was very like late in the game, especially after they gave the pre-orders so early. But that was for the Scorpio version, so I went for the regular edition. Thankfully got a Best Buy Friday morning. It was amazing. It was awesome. So thanks Best Buy. I also
likely because people canceled, so it opened
Yeah.
up allotments.
Yeah, I'm sure that happened. I even canceled my Scorpio edition for that for Amazon. So, and thankfully I didn't go through Amazon because I heard that's a whole whopper of a problem there too.
I got lucky.
That's good. Yeah, that's launches are always a iffy thing sometimes with regards to getting your own console. So definitely, try to. I would say try your luck at different spots and see what you're able to grab.
All right. We also had a fun little story. So, if you plug in a Windows Mixed Reality headset into Xbox One X right now, Clippy's giving you like a shitty look back, like, what the fuck you doing, boy? Take that shit off.
He is. That's just fucking hilarious.
He's just like, you carry your ass
He's just
somewhere
looking
else,
at you
son.
like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You need some motherfucking help?
But it's a funny little Easter egg. They're definitely going to be adding VR support sooner than later. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how they roll this all out. I know a lot of people were freaking out during the review saying they didn't show off VR. It's like, well, let them, roll out a console first, and then let's go into VR.
As much as people want to focus on PlayStation VR did $500 million in revenue. Well, it's a $500 piece of hardware. I mean,
yeah.
Well, not just that.
If you think about it, all you have to do is sell 1 million just to get $500 million in revenue. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but it's the reality of the situation. And how long has PlayStation VR been out?
Yeah, it's been like maybe a year, maybe.
Almost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, VR is not taking off like some retailers and other companies thought it would.
Yeah. The chat's kind of lively here. We got Psychotron, faithful standby. What's up, Psychotron? And we got MTA Rails. Hope I got that right.
Yeah.
So woke up from a nap. So welcome. Come in all.
Let's be fair and say that PlayStation VR probably sold 1.5 million. 1.5 million in a year is not very good.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's
for a VR headset, it's doing good.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be
Well,
honest.
yeah. In a relative sense, it's good. But I'm not really talking about.
VR is not like pushing insane numbers or anything right now. But like mixed reality, I'm glad Microsoft is taking its time with it and not just rushing into VR like Sony. I feel like Sony did. It's nicer for them to say, okay, this is the Xbox One X. This is what we're establishing. This is 4K. And then next year, they can go, hey, guess what? Sea of Thieves VR, get ready to fucking throw up as you bounce up and down on a ship. Like,
Oh God.
I just thought of that. That'd be pretty fucking epic to get up in the crow's nest.
Look at what people are saying right now. Look at what people are saying right now, saying, how do you justify 4K TV? Imagine if the VR was part of it too. People would be like, how do you justify 4K TV and a VR headset?
Yeah, it's quite a big expense.
But seeing as somebody was able just to plug a mixed reality headset into the Xbox One X, and it honestly kind of works since they're seeing Clippy, that's a good sign that they're going to, support all their headsets and not just like this one version of a headset. So I'm actually kind of pumped for it. But yeah, it's funny that they had an angry, pissed off version of Clippy to sit there and just be like, "What the hell are y'all doing?"
Yeah, it's cool, man. I like when they reference all
little
these
Easter eggs,
Microsoft little things. Yeah, like you said, that's awesome.
They really should have had it when he put it on. It said, "Can I help you, motherfucker?"
Well, it's I put a T in or M rating with that one. Yeah.
Say what? Say what again?
No, I think honestly, it's probably the biggest story of the week, other than the Xbox One X, is Electronic Arts is going to acquire Titanfall maker Respawn for pretty much around $455 million when everything's all said and done. So they left Activision to get bought by EA.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I don't think this was by choice. I think, it was by choice, of course, but because, of how Titanfall 2 did, I think
it'll give them a lot more resources. I mean, I know people were going, oh, they're going to close them down now. It's like, no, they're a good studio. EA's going to use them to make fucking Titanfall 3 or something else and just make a bigger, larger, more insane game.
Yeah, as long as they give them good work, like they're doing now with, I'm sure with the Titanfall and Star Wars. I mean, they'll be pretty good, but you do, kind of have to have like a sort of, it's kind of a wary eye on them now after EA purchased them, because you know how that always goes. So, yeah, they gotta hope they survive eventually. But we'll see. It's an interesting acquisition though. Like you guys were saying, like they were independent from Activision, and then they kind of formed their own studio, and now they're being bought out again. I don't know if that's due to maybe like some financial problems they had, and they kind of just willing to sell, because you would think they'll want to continue their independence, but. Interestingly enough, you got EA buying them, so that's yeah.
I think they put all the money they had behind Titanfall 2, and I don't think it paid out for them.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
It might have like replaced the money they spent, but it might have not given.
It wasn't a big enough financial success for them to hold on. It doesn't look like.
Which was surprising, because they had the free updates and all that stuff. So I was like, how are they making any money, like, or any monetization? I mean, they do have the DLC packs and stuff like that, but they weren't that appealing, to be honest with you. They weren't like, like a must buy.
Like Halo 5 had a huge, impact on multiplayer, and people kept with it, and they made a lot of money. Titanfall 2 multiplayer kind of fell off very quickly. Like, it just was not received the same way. And I don't know if it's because they went multi-plat or why specifically. But it definitely didn't have the same kind of impact.
Well, let's be honest here. Mm-hmm. Like, part of it was the attitude of the studio. Like, the way they talked about certain communities. Like, it didn't help them. And honestly, the problem is that, I mean, these companies, they rely on the hardcore people in these communities to go out there and say, hey, you should buy this game. This game's going to be awesome. We should all get it together. That's part of the word of mouth is a big part of it, to be honest. That's why Halo got so big. That's why Destiny got so big. That's why a lot of these games, Call of Duty got so big because people would go, they play it, and they'd come home and be like, "Man, you got to buy this." And that doesn't sound like much until you think of you got 1 million people saying that to their friends. You got 1 million friends selling it to another 1 million friends. It adds up pretty fucking quickly.
Yeah, that certainly contributed to the at least the multiplayer portion. I think it had a lot of growing pains, which is why they had so much issues, especially when they're being compared so much to the first Titanfall, which was excellent. And also, like, the DLC, like we talked about, wasn't as rewarding. And plus, like, when you have no achievements attached to your multiplayer, there's less incentive to actually play it. As much as fun as it is, I think it's improved quite a lot, and it's really fun. I still kind of like the first Titanfall multiplayer. I almost feel like you should play the first Titanfall for multiplayer and then this one for the single player. But yeah, I understand why I fell off. It wasn't as big of a motivation to play it unless you just want like pure fun. I mean, it is fun, but yeah, it's a multitude of things that kind of contributed to the whole issue that it's had with its whole population.
Not to mention the time it launched.
Yes.
Was just awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like Battlefield 1 was right there. Like it was literally right there, and it was like, why did you do that?
Well, Titanfall. Did Titanfall 1 come out in a holiday? To me, it just feels more like I don't know.
It's a summer game.
April
it's a great
game.
Summer game.
Yeah.
March, April. You could launch it then. It makes sense to me. But not holiday. Like it's too.
Well, Titanfall 1 was summer, wasn't it?
I don't. The first one. I thought it was like.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Titanfall. Yeah, Titanfall 1.
I guess one was like October, November, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't know.
We'll look it up real quick.
March 11th, April 8th, 2014. On Xbox One, it launched March 11th, 2014.
Okay, so I was way off. Chris One is around that time.
Yeah,
but
March 11th. Yeah, that's a better time for a game like Titanfall than.
Because you get past all the other, like, people are done playing their shooters that they bought through Christmas. You come out, you have this awesome mech game that's just different. Like, it works better that way. And if EA does do a Titanfall 3, I hope they do it like I said, March, April, do it in that window, and you can kind of just be the heavy hitter.
Honestly, it would be smart anyway. You have Battlefield in the holiday, and then
like Battlefield's November,
and
then March.
Yeah,
and
it's even like
could be their summer game.
That's true. I mean, there's also kind of a conspiracy there where that EA kind of released it at a bad time so they can lower their stock and I don't know, whatever, and like buy them up later. But I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think that's a little too conspiracy theory. I think
there's just too much money on the line to do shit like that. Like it's not worth it. You might as well just fucking let them have it.
Yeah, and a big question a lot of people have is like why Microsoft didn't go for it, but I forget who mentioned this, but I think it was Jason Schreier. He was saying that they had the EA had first rights of refusal for the studio or something like that, so they can match the offer that whoever had an offer, like a counter offer. I don't know. They could counter offer something higher or something like that. Yeah, but it was never particularly on the cards. But it sucks, man, because they seemed like such a good match for Microsoft, considering they're.
Yeah, they're on their way to try to make some more software. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Microsoft really need another company that makes shooter games? So I don't.
No, not necessarily.
They sell, but I agree. Yeah. It's which gets us into our next, story. Microsoft shifts to make more of its own video game software. So Phil Spencer came out and was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna start acquiring studios. We're gonna start building studios. Like this is it." Mm-hmm. He, quoting him, he said, "We need to grow, and I look forward to doing that. Our ability to go and create content has to be one of our strengths. We haven't always invested in the same level. We've gone through ups and downs in the investment." So yeah, they're looking to really looks like they're gonna really start banging out some titles, which gives me
Yeah,
concern since like shouldn't this have been like a year ago, year and a half ago?
yeah. I'm about to say like
Like,
I'm really glad they noticed this at the 11th hour. You
yeah,
know.
like it's time to
I
I
can
mean
eat my own
they
words
need to
here,
have
but
some if they're
something tells
really
me they've
waiting till
already
now to
started
do
this.
this, they need to get
Yeah.
then they need to buy some fucking like exclusives for this coming up E3 because we need some more games.
Oh, forget it, man. That's a big issue. Well, I'll let Jason go first on this though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I might be eating my own words, but I get the feeling they've already started that at least a while ago, unless they're really don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, you figure they have stuff in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. I really hope they do pick up a bunch of studios. They don't even have to be really big acquisitions. It could be just studios they've worked with before. I have a pretty decent. I mean, for what I think they should buy is Armature. I think that's kind of a given the Recore. I mean, provided they're open to, this is provided these studios are open to buyout. So Armature, a lot of people went on this, but I would say, what's the other one? Ruffian, because they
Yeah.
do a lot of work with them. They do outsource, like Halo and Crackdown. They could even continue Crackdown after Sumo stops, to support for the 3, or even help with them.
Well, I was talking to Vern about it, and
Yeah.
I made the joke, but he thought it was actually, it's very viable as they could buy Crytek. Like
That would be interesting.
they Crytek definitely could be bought at this point, and they have a good relationship with EA, so we might actually see something like a Crisis Collection release on Xbox instead of just on PC. Like we could see that there's actually quite a bit of potential.
Yeah, Crisis
For
Trilogy. That's a
Crytek.
much requested. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
much requested trilogy remaster, and you would think that would be one of the top priorities for them. But I don't know. Crytek's such a weird place that you don't really know what's going on with them, and like they're working on a lot of stuff. They license their engine to Amazon, which is another weird deal. I don't think that's in perpetuity. I think that's for a certain amount of time, but I don't think Amazon's done much with it, at least yet. I mean, I think they're still doing stuff with it. But Crytek's a very interesting one, especially with how they have the Rise property and, like you mentioned, Dustin, with the Crisis, and their tech is really good. But it's interesting because they then have to like manage a studio outside of the U.S., like with the Rare and stuff. So that's kind of a tricky thing. I think also Gunfire Games is a pretty good candidate. They're the ex-Vigil guys who also split. I mean, there's another studio called Airship Syndicate, I think. They did the Battle Chasers RPG, which is they're also offshoot from Vigil Games. Gunfire is interesting because they're mostly made up of these ex-Vigil guys, but they're open. I think they're open to buyout. Even they're open for the IP to be bought out from before the THQ thing. And I mean, was it before? I think it was after the whole THQ fell down, and then like Nordic picked them up. But Microsoft could have had all that stuff. That would have been really good. But I think the studio's potentially open for a buyout as well. And they're good. They're good. They're proven record. So they're working on Darksiders 3 right now. So
Yeah.
This is going to be on the left field and shit, but because we mainly focus on the console side of things, but they are expanding into PC too. I think Paradox Interactive would be a good purchase for them, and that would really fill up their PC lineup big time. Like, I mean, huge. Like that would pretty much replace all their old studios that they used to have for making RTS games like Ensemble and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Paradox already has a pretty nice lineup of IPs and games that they currently have out or are working on the development. I think that would be a good purchase for them. It would be $1 billion purchase, but
Yeah.
it would be quite a lot. I mean, you're talking Stellaris, you're talking Hearts of Iron, Universalis or Europa Universalis, They make a shit ton of games. I'm telling you, man.
That's a lot of IP.
But that's on the PC front, and I do think they should either build or buy a studio for the PC also.
Yeah, I think that this wasn't the Decisive studio supposed to be their kind of their PC studio. They were apparently
so.
apparently they're deep sixth. And also I also think this may sound weird, but Creative Assembly for Sega, I don't know if they're doing that well in Sega's like ownership. I do recall hearing that their staff was like really cut after Alien Isolation, and then they were given the Halo Wars 2. So depending on whether Sega is open to, selling them off, I think they'll be a pretty good, like actually a really good fit, because they also do the RTSs and stuff. So that'd be a pretty good, and maybe even
of course they should buy Playground Games. That's
just about to say that. That would be interesting. Well, not Playground. I'm sorry. I was gonna say Playful from the Super Lucky sale, but I don't know. I'm not sure if they're open to that. But yeah, Playground would be cool. I'm not sure they're open to a buyout. What do you think, Jason? Think they're open to buyout?
I don't think so. I think they're in the same boat that Respawn was in, where they want, and same with Insomniac, where they want to be an independent studio that works on projects of their own, which I think is perfectly fine. I wish more, and like Mahjong, they're in a really unique situation, but I feel like more parent companies should do that too, where they more act as caretakers for these developers rather than overlords,
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially what Mojang with Minecraft, with Microsoft, is basically a caretaker of them. They do what they want them to do, but
yeah,
they make they allow Mojang to keep the IP where it's supposed to be. And I kind of feel like Playground would be great with that kind of relationship. If Microsoft purchased them, just as a caretaker rather than an overlord. But
that's true. But these are also double-edged swords. Like studios, if they have like, let's say like Rare, if their next game, like let's say Sea of Thieves bombs, then their whole staff's gonna be wiped out. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you're owned by Microsoft, because you can always like also get the axe. So that's kind of a
oh yeah, of course.
I mean,
at the end of the day, Microsoft is writing your paychecks.
Yeah.
And if they feel that you're not worth the money they're paying. But the only good thing is Microsoft has so many billion-dollar businesses that they're not too worried. And not to mention Satya himself has even come out and, he said gaming's not a core part of Microsoft, but it is a huge, it's a huge part of it, though. Like, they don't consider it an office or anything.
No.
But they consider it a big part of the company, especially public relations-wise.
Oh, Lord Cognito's in the chat from the Iron Lords podcast. Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming.
Hey, welcome, Lord Cognito.
Yeah, it's a good dude, man. Thanks for stopping by.
It's an interesting topic. There's a lot of good studios out there, and like you said, it really depends on who's actually willing to be bought.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We'll see.
Not too many third-party studios on the level of and people are like you want a Naughty Dog, but there's not too many that could sit there and be a Naughty Dog or a Turn 10. I mean, Playground Games might be up there, but just I'm not sure if they even want to be bought.
Yeah, I think the key thing is like I said, just buy certain small studios and like build them out with other staff from other parts of like all the the other what do you call it, those other devs, like let's say like Coalition, right? Let's say there's people who want to like do other stuff, like all right, acquire Armature and be like, hey, you guys want to work on Record 2? And they're like, okay, and then shuffle them between studios. I think that way you'll have a nice like flow of like people who want to work on different things. But yeah, this is a good what do you call it? It's a good. I'm kind of losing my words now.
Capcom is a viable purchase for them.
Well, I would say the RPs, but not. I don't know about their.
I think
actual
they could
company.
buy the whole thing.
But isn't it a Japanese company, so they can't really like purchase them by law?
I don't know.
Nah, Microsoft could likely figure something
Microsoft
out.
Japan could probably buy them.
Like create like a shell company and buy them, and then like
No, they've already got a cell company everywhere.
yeah, that would be cool, But yeah, I'm glad to see Microsoft going proactive on their studio stuff because that's really important. And I think Phil's position now, it makes it a little easier for them to be more aggressive on that front. So I mean, that's the only thing. Like I say, like it's kind of late to be saying that, but at the same time, when you see stuff going on in the background, that we see that like with the studio with the Microsoft getting a lot bigger, and I think they're going to be a more key like role for Microsoft because it's one of the divisions that I think they're having a better financial future with because they have a lot more revenue streams with this. With the Xbox Live, you got the Game Pass and the streaming service that they wanted to implement, which is I don't know if Dustin has this on his list. With that, I think they had like a stick or something that they wanted to release before, and then they never really released it for some reason. But like a streaming stick. But yeah, I would say the Microsoft's gaming division has a lot of growth, and I think this will be kind of like PlayStation to Sony. I think this will be one of their key sectors that they're gonna have to like keep an eye out for and like hopefully keep growing.
Yeah.
We didn't bring up Iron Galaxy though.
Yeah, that's right. That would be pretty good actually.
Now there's small studios out there that could be pretty good purchases and are probably pretty flexible. Iron Galaxy is a pretty flexible studio. They do a lot of different types of games.
Yeah, there's also who's the studio that did Lords of the Fallen? Is it Deck 13 or something? There's a bunch of Deck like studios that would name Deck on them, like
Yeah. Get as bad as gamer tags.
Yeah. Deck
Wait
13.
for a studio XXX something XX.
Yeah, they're all becoming kind of similar in names. But yeah, Deck 13. Thanks, Psychotron. I think that would be a good studio. I think they did Lords of Fallen and The Surge, so they'll be pretty good.
I hate to break it to you, but he's wrong.
Oh, it is.
Oh wait. No, he's not wrong. 2 studios developed Lords of the Fallen: Deck 13 and CI Games.
CI Games. They're the same people did that sniper game that everyone hated because that whole DLC practice thing.
I apologize for saying you were wrong.
But yeah, man, lots of studios, man, that they can buy, like smaller ones, or create new ones, Either way.
And they got plenty of if they create it, I think creating is easier because if they create a studio, they can go. Even if you have these studios that aren't willing to sell, you can go to the, not really go to their employees, but when these studios start laying off for whatever reason, be like, hey, we're starting a new studio.
Yeah,
you're a pretty good talent at this place. You want to come work for us?
The only thing I would say is that when you buy a studio, you already have like kind of proven talent and proven so it's like I think it was a little easier if you buy them and like you do what you want them. Growing them is a little harder because then you have to rebuild from scratch and like have them up to speed and so because Coalition had kind of that issue with they were Black Tusk before, and then they had that new IP, and they were kind of like they bought the Gears IP, and then they're kind of deciding which one they wanted to go with, and it worked out because Coalition's a really talented developer. They're awesome.
Gears 4 was a pretty great game.
Yeah,
right,
top notch. So hey, welcome, Steph.
What's I fixed that shit.
Nice.
Hey,
Steph is on the show.
Hey, we don't have the rights to that. Don't say that.
I got the rights to it. You know what I mean? That's my thing. I'm saying that shit. Hey, not Fonz, but just my kind of A. You know what I mean? What y'all talking about? What's up?
We were talking about what studios Microsoft would require, but we've kind of been talking about it for a little while. So.
Y'all talking about how they missed out on buying Respawn?
Well, they didn't have EA had first buying rights to Respawn.
Yeah, I know. Maybe they'll buy Obsidian or something.
Maybe
they can buy EA. Be like, fuck your first buying rights.
Yeah, buy EA.
Just buy EA.
I think there's EA.
I
I don't know. Yeah, EA would be like It'd be a couple billion for sure.
That's it?
Like 10,
Oh,
20
God.
billion dollars, probably.
Oh, 10, 20 billion. Okay.
Yeah,
You
like
said a couple. I thought you meant like
couple billion.
3 or 2.
I mean, fucking
EA currently has a market cap of $35 billion.
yeah. So you know, you buy them like you put a
Be
nice
the largest purchase in Microsoft.
I don't know if I'm
history.
changing the topic or not, but is Respawn worth $400 million? You think?
yeah.
No. Well,
think
they're
they
not
are.
paying $400 million for Respawn. They're paying like $250 million, and like the rest of it are bonuses.
Yeah.
And the really crappy part is that their bonuses from now on are going to be
Metacritic.
based on Metacritic scores.
Yeah,
How
right.
exciting is that, guys?
Oh god, that's not good. But I don't know, I feel like EA takes all the good studios from like that Microsoft could have had, like BioWare, and even though
Yeah.
really likely they probably wouldn't have been able to buy like up BioWare and the Respawn and all that stuff. So
Oh, they should have bought BioWare right off the bat. They really should
yeah,
have.
Yeah,
apparently it wasn't on
BioWare
its
would have been a good RPG studio.
Yeah, it would, because they do need a good bunch of studios to fill in certain gaps in the action adventure and the action RPG category. So that would have been pretty good. But apparently,
Microsoft could make the next Mass Effect. All they have to do is make a good Mass Effect.
Be
I'm
cool.
going to be completely honest. That's all they got to do right now, and that'd be to start a new franchise.
I mean, yeah, they could extend the olive branch. Like, hey, I know last Mass Effect didn't do well. We can fund, the next one. It'll be exclusive to our
No,
platform.
I don't even mean funding a new. I mean literally just making their own.
Well, yeah, that'll be nice. I mean, they have plenty of IPs or even just make a new one. So, like, yeah, Psychotron saying to bring new IPs and old ones back. I want Cameo 2 and Blast Corps 2. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice, man.
Fucking Conquer.
Conquer.
I don't know why
Overdrive
it's taking
2.
so long.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good ones, man. Cameo 2 could have been
They
like,
need to make our Conquer game. goddammit.
yeah. I mean,
First level, you start off at 240p, and you gotta collect the P's. Get up to 4K.
yeah, or at least bring back the old one from from the OG Xbox. But I mean, I think Cameo 2 would be pretty good. That'd be a nice kind of you can bring that back and make it kind of your action RPG. Just kind of remake it, This would be like the kind of the Horizon Zero Dawn style game, but like fantasy. That'd be
I
cool.
just had another idea about our Conquer game, guys. He comes in the game and he looks like N64 Conquer, and he looks at himself and he goes, "What the fuck is this?" And he shakes real hard, and then he looks like Xbox Conquer, like with the fur, like the simulated fur. And he says, "What the fuck?" And he shakes again, and it's Xbox One X Conquer.
No,
That'd be interesting.
I think you have to have HoloLens Conquer somewhere in there for him to go, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. He goes N64 to HoloLens. He's like, "What the?"
Believe it, Conquer.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with that HoloLens Conquer, man. That was bad.
Really cool. I don't know off topic, but that demo, the Conquer thing might look absolutely dumb. It's not actually Conquer; it's something else. It's like Conquer Junior or some bullshit. But
Yeah, that's
more
right.
like Conquer Fetus. But that's actually a really cool demo. That what it's based on.
So I hear.
Basically, the little Conquer jumps up and down, like he jumps on all the 3D objects in your room, as if he was actually on them. It's actually pretty badass. But I digress.
We'll never see that demo. That's like behind the closed doors.
So, I think that's it for news, unless anybody has any other stories you want to bring up. I'm blanking. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I'm blanking. on
Okay.
it. Like, it's
So about the Xbox titles on PlayStation.
yes.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
Is that
Microsoft.
a
that
thing?
was a misquote.
Phil
Yeah, it was
Spencer
a
never
misquote.
said on PlayStation. He said on other platforms. Other platforms could be Linux, like Mac, fucking Nintendo
Or a
Switch.
PC, like they've already been
PC.
doing with Play
Well,
Anywhere.
What I read, and y'all said it may have been misquoted. They said other platforms and it seems like in quotations it says like the Apple iPhone or the PS4.
Yeah, it
So,
was because
it
he
wasn't-
came out on Twitter later and said it wasn't. Yeah,
He said, okay, so he came out on Twitter later. Did he say it's not coming ever, or he say
He was
not
like,
right
"Bitch,
now?
we
said-
ain't putting our shit on Sony's platform." Like,
He was basically saying games like Minecraft and stuff like that. Not like people were interpreting as all their exclusives and some shit. He was like, if there is a game like Minecraft,
look, when we're
yeah.
dropping Solitaire
Yeah.
down, we're not
Yeah.
worried about if it's on Sony's platform or not. It's Solitaire.
They're bringing Solitaire to the Xbox.
Look, they need to. They need to.
Well, like he was misquoted, but I still
Microsoft
get
Chess needs to come out on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh god,
I'll take it on the Switch, definitely.
Yeah, I don't have any
would.
problems with that.
It'd be good. I'd play some Microsoft Switch crossplay.
I wish it would be more blunt about like just flat out saying that shit ain't coming instead of being like, not at this time or
Yeah, it says for now, right? Like when he said for now
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man, just leave it wide open. Like I think like what they're kind of generally doing over time, they're becoming a little bit more platform agnostic. Like little by little, they're kind of chipping away at it little by little. They're like, okay, we're doing a PC, then okay, maybe we might put it on like a Switch or something. So it seems like they're kind of going little by little, like to different platforms. Eventually, the whole app idea that everybody keeps talking about, they're gonna do like the whole Microsoft app. It might not be on PlayStation, but it might be like on a TV that kind of takes all sorts of apps or something like that to stream it.
You mean like how PlayStation Now did that until they got rid of it? Basically.
Right. And the streaming thing, it's cool. It's a futuristic idea, but we're still way too far like away from that. Like the technology just isn't like quite there yet. Maybe if they integrate the FTL technology from what do you call it, from a Beam or Mixer or whatever you want to call it.
Do you think 3 years from now is what I think that's what they were saying? Is that enough
I don't
time?
know.
Well,
I
there's
don't
also
think
the
so.
difference that Microsoft actually has the infrastructure cloud-wise to do it, unlike Sony.
That's true. They do. They're a lot more advanced in that regard.
That's not even. It's kind of like, oh my god, like to compare those two. Like Microsoft right now is the fastest-growing cloud service in the world. They actually surpassed AWS now, not in size but in growth.
Yeah, you know what?
Which is pretty fucking nuts. If AWS, people that don't understand, that's Amazon server. They're the biggest, but Microsoft's on their
Coattails.
coattails. I had something else in my head for some reason.
You wouldn't be on their curtains. I mean, like it's
I don't know why I was thinking curtail. I don't know.
curtails.
Super Lucky Tales.
A curtail, reduce in extent or quantity.
Super Lucky Tale.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Did you see Shannon Loftus come out today and say something about it?
Oh god.
She did?
People was hating on it. It was hating on it, so she had to come out and put her foot down. She had to put her high heel down.
Oh man, that game's good though, man. I think they got really like bad like review scores. I think they
as good as Mario, so fuck it.
Yeah, it got really badly reviewed, man. It's a good game. Like I'll side with her. Yeah, I did. I picked it up on Friday. Plus, I used the $5 thing they gave us for that Microsoft. It was nice of them. They gave us a $5 coupon, whatever, and I applied it. So it was, I even had credit, so I combined it. So it was like $22. I was like, oh great, I'll use it for Super Lucky Tale. But yeah, man, I'll side with her on this one, man. I think the game is good. People have been unfairly like docking it for stupid stuff. It plays really well. It's fun. Graphically, it's fine. It's pretty colorful, bright. Well, it's what you can ask for. All you can ask for a platformer. So,
all right,
I recommend.
Where would you compare this to Cuphead?
Compared to Cuphead?
Yeah. What would you say? Well,
yeah, I don't know, man. They're very different, but like, they're both worth buying, man. Like, they're smaller games, but I mean, you need variety in your console and your ecosystem. So these are definitely.
I just need rehashes of Call of Duty. I don't know what you mean. Why don't you just take that?
I mean,
same
or
formula?
rehashes of Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Mario, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't played Mario 97 times. So,
I prefer the rehash of Assassin's Creed that's known as Far Cry, or any other version of Assassin's Creed that just completely like out. Hey, climb this tower. Go over here.
Right.
Do this. Like, okay.
yeah. Speaking of that, man, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say I was kind of wrong about Assassin's Creed. I was dogging the shit out of it, but it got really good reviews. I never addressed that, but man, it got pretty good reviews.
Everybody was able to take a year off, so everybody was more refreshing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was dogging the shit out. What did I say?
Well, when you
Bird
make
UAV.
11 Assassin's Creed games straight, back to back.
Right.
I mean,
Damn, 11?
yeah, some are up there, like 11 of them.
God damn. Does that count in the mobile version? There's a
Probably.
PSP game and a Vita game. Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a good lesson to take away from that. Just take a rest for a year.
Did y'all already talk about EA taking a year off for Madden and FIFA?
No, I didn't include that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So they're taking a full year off on it? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if they came out and said it, but I guess it's like some insider stuff. I guess maybe they didn't perform that well this year.
Well, supposedly they're gonna maybe look into doing that whole subscription model with them, which I think would be a great idea. I mean, that way you eliminate the whole disc thing all the time or buying it every couple of months.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea if they do that with it.
Rocking it through EA Access will keep them.
Oh yeah,
up,
yeah, that's excellent.
Excuse me, not 11, but including Origins, the main lines, there's been 10 since 2007.
That's a lot.
That's
Yeah, I
still
can
a
tell
lot.
that they're just getting like wide scale burnout and kind of like they have to take a year off and just make it. I mean, Far Cry 4 is also kind of up there. I mean, not Far Cry 4, the Far Cry franchise is getting like kind of repetitive. Hopefully, this one will kind of.
That's why I love what they did with Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon was such a different. It was really different from the past ones, and it really made itself different. And you don't feel like you're playing the same game over and over.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of learned that lesson with that game for Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed actually implements some things from Ghost Recon and.
Yeah, Ghost Recon looks like kind of like it feels. I don't know if it feels, but like it seems like almost like Metal Gear Solid, but like with the co-op or something. I don't know. It just seems that way for me. Like I didn't play it, but it seems like almost like a Metal Gear Solid.
How many Assassin's Creed games there are? There are so many Assassin's Creed games that last year 2 of them released on the Vita.
That's crazy.
How many fucking Assassin's Creed games?
That's nuts.
But yeah, it's alright. I just think that's funny.
So with EA possibly taking off a year for Madden and FIFA, I mean, all I gotta just do is just look over at Activision and say, "Y'all next, bruh. Just stop. Let Call of Duty just give it a year, come back, something better." You know what I mean? I just don't need another Call of Duty next year.
Yeah.
I don't need this one. I ain't getting this one this
prefer,
year.
We were tempted to get the World War II Call of Duty, but now it still just looks like fucking Call of Duty.
I looked at the multiplayer and I was like, "Oh, it's a Call of Duty," and never mind.
Yeah, wait for a sale.
Right. I had a lot of people talking about it. I mean, more so than normal. I had a guy at work who was like, "Hey, you see that new Call of Duty?" I was like, old ass motherfucker, like 50 or something, probably 40, 50. He playing that shit. So it's like, man, they went back, so I guess people are actually enjoying that shit, man. So
they are. I mean, it's Call of Duty has a fan base because of what it is.
Yeah.
But like having Battlefield, like I don't feel the need to pick it up. Like it's just
right.
I'm a Battlefield guy. I prefer Battlefield. I think it's a better shooter. It's more fun to play. Call of Duty is just fucking hold down R and run around corners as fast as you can while everybody blows up. Like, okay. Like, I'm good with not doing that. Like,
all right.
I'd rather be sniped from I'll make fun of Battlefield. Like, I'd rather be sniped from across the map instantly for fucking no apparent reason and yell at myself.
or be ran over by a tank.
Yeah. Or just some asshole throwing C4 at my face and then blowing it up. But it's more, that's more my cup of tea.
Dustin likes that random act of violence game.
Yeah. And then we got PUBG coming up too, so I mean.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm so happy. I will say that World War II doubled the sales of whatever the last Call of Duty was called, with Infinite Warfare or whatever the fuck it's called. That shit sold twice as much as it did at launch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's good. It
It
shows
is
that
good.
people want different types of shooters that are not all futuristic, so that's good.
Jay, weren't you telling me that Call of Duty sales were larger than what was it?
Yeah,
Wonder
they said
Woman and fucking Thor Ragnarok put
within
together.
24 hours they made more money than Wonder Woman and
That's crazy.
Thor put together.
Jesus Christ.
Like fucking. That's why video games are the biggest industry, people.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
That's nuts.
It's a lot of money.
It's probably not even the biggest game this year.
Yeah.
What's the biggest game? PUBG.
Probably going to be Destiny or PUBG.
Nah,
Yeah.
PUBG sold 20 million copies,
Destiny's
bro.
already the biggest. Well,
Yeah,
on
but
console, Destiny's
PUBG's
already
only
the
what,
biggest.
$30 or what's the price of PUBG right now?
Yeah, 30
Right.
bucks.
Yeah, so you cut that's 10 million copies. Don't get me wrong, that's a fucking shitload of copies, but like it's Call of Duty does 10 million. Like and that's at $60 a pop. So
Right. Well, I mean, I'd
the
say
money
maybe
adds up
retail
different,
value. Retail, as far as like a dollar value or whatever, they'll probably make more money off of Call of Duty, like you
don't
said.
get me
'cause,
wrong. So the success of the year, without a doubt, is PUBG. Like
Yeah.
there's no fucking. What's the bigger success this year? No, there's no question. It's PUBG. Like it's
Right.
fucking huge.
Well, they're gonna
that's
hit
like,
25
just
million
the
by the
amount
end
of
of the
money,
year.
like $5 to $30, the amount of money they're just making. I mean, PUBG has microtransactions, right?
Yes and no. It's not like you can
But
play
you
the
can
game and not
purchase
even.
things, right?
You can buy loot boxes or whatever, but you buy
Well,
it
there
with
you go.
in-game money. Is what I was gonna say. In-game money.
Well, it's just like Halo 5. Halo 5
Yeah.
has made mind-boggling amount of money just from the loot boxes.
Yeah, but they don't advertise that you actually spend money in the game. You have
No,
to
but it's
go
another
on-
revenue source for them. That's all.
right.
That's
But
all
you have to
just-
go on their website to even really know. Like when you're playing the game and you buy like a little loot box with in-game money, you wouldn't even know that you could buy more points or whatever unless you got on the website. They try to sell it to you that way. It's not
Yeah.
like Halo
It's not
where you
right
get
in
on
your
there and
face.
it
Yeah.
gives you the option on the screen that says in-game money or $10.
just like Forza. Oh wait.
Yeah.
No way,
Oh,
Forza doesn't have
shit.
microtransactions.
Microtransactions.
Docket
Man,
10
microtransactions
points.
ruined Forza. What microtransactions? What rock have you been living under? I've been playing the game.
Yeah.
All right.
Christ.
Well,
So I haven't
think that-
talked to you guys. How you guys
Thanks,
like
Boogie
your
and Jim
Xbox?
Sterling. Really appreciate it.
How you guys liking your consoles, man?
like it a
We're
lot.
about to get into that.
Like it.
Okay,
a
go ahead.
lot.
Let's go.
So that's it for news this week. Again, please write us at letters@xboxuncut.com. Let us know if there's any stories that we missed that you want to discuss. Hear us discuss. We'll do it. Hopefully Tim will be back next week. All right. So the Xbox One X launched. What was the very first game you played, Will? What is that game?
Oh man, I don't remember. I played so many games.
You failed me. Steph.
That's what I usually
I did not find one. Xbox One X is sold out, bro.
Yeah. I could tell you me and
That-
Jason's first game. We chose it
Right.
specifically because
Ark.
we thought it was we were going to play Ark.
You play Ark?
Yes.
do. Interesting.
How did it look?
We were like, what's the shittiest
I don't-
running game we could think of to see if this
It
really
looks
does
like
perform
absolute
better?
crap.
Right.
So we turned on Ark, and let me tell you, it still ran like shit.
Really?
But it was pretty, but it ran like shit.
Well, to be honest, it ran like shit because I went to a server with a public server with a bunch
Yeah.
of shit on it.
Right.
Now, I ran it independently, created my own game, and it ran better, but not. It's still Ark. Like, it's still Ark, guys. I can't deny it. Ark is Ark.
Textures still don't load in for most of the game.
It was rough going there for a minute.
Takes a minute.
Is there a patch out for it yet, or?
Yeah, it has its
Yeah, it's patched.
it's patched for Xbox One X, but it's still fairly rough. Like, it's not exactly the most polished game of all time. But
But honestly, with the amount of shit that game lets you do, with the amount of people on a map,
yeah, it's
don't mind
a
it much.
great game. Like, it's there's a reason
Right.
people still fucking play it
It's
nonstop.
not too many games that would let you have 60 people on the map. Each person can have 500 dinosaurs and a giant fucking base.
Now I gotta
So-
say, most improved game going from Xbox One to Xbox One X. I think I have to give it to Final Fantasy 15.
Oh
Yeah.
It is
Game was
fucking
great.
shocking,
giant.
the leap between those two versions. Like,
I heard.
it's crazy. It's just, it
Because
almost looks like a
absolute
completely
garbage
different
on
game.
Xbox One.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really made a turnaround from the Blur Fest that was on the regular.
Yeah, now it
Xbox
makes
One.
the Pro look like crap.
Oh yeah, forget about it. No.
Minecraft doesn't release an update. I played that. I'm just gonna go through what I've been playing. Halo 5 looks great. Has
Yep.
anybody take it? I know Jason's
Yes.
loaded it up. Yeah.
Yes, 5 looks incredible, even at 1080p. Because I have a 1080p TV, so pretty much all the games that I'm playing that were 4K are super sampled. So
Yeah.
that's one of the top ones that I've played. That looked really good.
Right. So
Dead Rising 4 looks good.
Yeah.
So does Ghost Recon Wildlands. Looks pretty damn good.
Oblivion for the 360 looks
Oh my
insane,
God,
even
yeah.
in 1080p. Like, it's pretty fucking shocking what that game looks like.
Yeah.
I do own the horse armor. Fuck you. Sea of Thieves. Oh, no, I haven't played that yet. But we now know that that's going to be 4K 60 ultra settings.
So
on
did they
PC.
say 60?
I know they said 4K ultra settings. I think I read.
Okay, I didn't know if
60.
they
I
said
don't know.
60 frames though. If that's gonna be 60, that's crazy. Damn, that game's beautiful on PC.
Mirror's Edge
Halo
looks
Wars
fucking
2.
fantastic.
Halo Wars 2 looks really fucking good. Really good.
Nice.
Best version of Diablo 3 is on Xbox One X. It looks, even though it doesn't have HDR or anything, pretty much always running at 4K really makes those textures shine. Like, it looks really, really, really good. Even though, like, it stomps on the pro version of the game. Let's see.
Yeah.
Gears 4, I think, might actually be the best looking game.
Yeah.
The amount of detail is pretty fucking nuts. Like, I put
Yeah.
a screenshot. I don't know if you guys all saw the screenshot I put in. Like,
Yeah.
the screenshot I took ended up being 18 megabyte.
Mm.
And I had to put it on my OneDrive account just so I could sell it to you guys.
Yeah, it's insane.
No, but the 60 frames per second in Gears 4 is really fucking nice on a 1080p set. Being able to play that in Horde and Campaign, having 60
Right.
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Rise
Has-
of the Tomb Raider looks fantastic and runs fantastic. Like, honestly, I don't think I can't think of a game that's been
Ark?
patched that doesn't
Oh.
look. No, even relative to what Ark was barely 720p.
What were you
Relative
saying?
to what Ark
Will?
used to be,
One
pretty
sec, Will was-
fantastic.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Jason.
Oh.
But I'll just gonna run down a list when you guys are done.
Okay. No, go ahead. Just to, throw some games out there.
Oh yeah, no problem. So like you guys were mentioning these, but super sampled games that I tried, which were really good and really showed like how good it looks on the 1080p TV, were Halo 5, like we mentioned, Super Lucky's Tale, Forza 7. That looks really clean. Most of these are like they look ultra clean. That's what the super sampling really does. Also very little aliasing. Final Fantasy 15, that looks really awesome. Dishonored 2 looks particularly amazing. The textures, you can see a whole lot of like detail, like little like the cloth textures and stuff looks amazing. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, that's another one that looks pretty good, super sampled. Mafia 3 and Titanfall 2. So those are really good super sampled games.
I got a bone to pick with Mafia 3. The reflections still look like ass.
Oh well,
Sorry.
yeah.
The resolution might be way better, but the reflection kills it, even with the resolution. Like, especially when you're driving a car and the car's covered with it, you can't get away from it. It just looks like ass. I have no idea why they can't fix that, and I think it's the same way on PC.
Yeah, I guess certain things you can't really like, fully
There's only
fixed.
so much
Like
you
I
can
guess.
do.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like the
Yeah.
reflections are 240p. I mean, I'm not like honestly.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't know why.
But yeah, that's a weird little thing going on with that one. But yeah, there's also these the non-patch games are even more interesting because they add the VSync, they add the texture filtering. Yep. And also they also add performance upgrades. So from what I've seen, Doom looks great at 1080p pre-patch. So I even actually sometimes prefer certain games to be like pre-patch because the texture filtering is so good that I kind of don't want that feature taken away. Um, Especially like even Forza 6, you see the roadside textures, they're a lot clearer, a lot more pronounced. So, and I didn't think that would be the case. I mean, but man, it was dramatic. State of Decay, a lot of detail added to that. Even though it kind of runs bad still, I don't know how that's possible, but
CPU
yeah,
bound. That's why.
yeah, it sucks. But Titanfall all cleaned up and no tearing, it runs smooth. Sniper Elite 3 is the most interesting case because that had an unlocked frame rate and a VSync option that you could turn on and off. Both modes, they look great. It runs fairly smooth for the most part. Slight hitching, but I don't think it was like a big deal. But that was a dramatic enhancement. Lords of the Fallen, that runs really bad on the OG Xbox, and this one on the X it runs really well actually. If it runs like smooth, the screen tearing is all gone, so no worries about that anymore. Ruiner, that's a indie game that I believe it had an unlocked frame rate. So it ran like between 60 and probably, I don't know, 30 or something on the OG, but it runs a lot more consistent. Looks a little cleaner. Killer Instinct was actually the first game I tried, so I forgot that. But that looks really clean. So no jaggies on that one. So that was a good. It's not as dramatic as other games, but you could just see a little cleaner look on that one. The last two that I've played, which are really good enhancements, from the what do you call it, the pre-patch stuff, is Live Lock. That's a kind of robot top view, like twin stick shooter. That's like a lot better with the tearing taken out and the frame rate's good. And Tron Run, which had some tearing. It was pretty blurry, but now it's like a lot sharper. I don't know if it has dynamic resolution. I'm not too sure on that one. But that's a really good one. That's a good enhancement. The less noticeable ones so far were Recore. It looks cleaner. It runs a little better, but it's not like dramatic. I'm hoping that patch will come in soon. Unfortunately, no Forza Horizon 3. That's kind of baffling, but I'm guessing that's because of 7. But I don't know. XCOM 2 looks decent. The screen tearing, thankfully, is good. It's gone. Forza Horizon 2, I didn't notice much. Mad Max, Dying Light, Sunset Overdrive, Darksiders 1 and 2, which are going to get patches. Mass Effect Andromeda, which looks slightly better. I don't notice a whole lot of crazy stuff going on there. Halo Spartan Assault, Mighty Number 9, Dishonored, Crimson Dragon. Overwatch looks pretty good. It maintains a 1080p and it looks clean. So, but those are the ones that I tested so far. So those are running a lot better on the X overall. So
yeah, I think
let's see what other.
have you guys tried Rise?
no.
Of the Tomb Raider or just Rise period?
Oh, just Rise. Okay, I want to try that. I got to try them launch games.
Anybody try Quantum Break?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Runs
that. Yeah,
fairly
that
well.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks really good. Super sample. The assets aren't quite as good as the Gears because it has 4K assets or whatever the assets they are. They're like high quality, but yeah, it looks really good. I kind of wish I played it like this when I first got it.
After playing Gears, everyone finally understands what 4K assets mean. Because it's really annoying when you got Digital Foundry and stuff going, there's no such thing. Like,
did they actually say that?
Yeah, Digital Foundry said there's no such thing as 4K assets.
Maybe higher quality assets is what they want people to say.
Well, that's what it means. It doesn't mean it's all 4K assets means. It's assets that were created, assets that were improved for be displayed in 4K resolution.
Right.
You know,
But,
they're making it sound like it was
you,
a marketing
like I
term,
said,
which
you
I
don't
guess it
get as
is,
much. You don't get to see and appreciate them as much in 1080p as you would in a 4K set. It's still It's still an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a 1080p set, you're still gonna get like high quality graphics and even
Still
like
more detailed.
right. So you still get benefits either way, man. So even if this is like a transitional thing for you, if you want to get a 4K TV, you're still good because it's like it runs great on everything.
Am I the only one in here actually using a 4K TV?
Right now, I believe so.
Yeah, I don't have
I think
4K.
Tim would be.
Yeah, I'm very curious
Yeah.
to see how they look on 4K.
Oh, it's amazing, dude. Dusty's seen them on my TV.
Nice.
Like, absolutely fucking amazing.
And I'm pretty sure either January or February, I'm going to pick up a 65-inch 4K TV
Woo.
to
Big
Nice.
boy.
make this video game thing happen.
Which one are you looking at? Dustin, the TCL
Either
or
the
just
TCL or the LG. They both have 55-inch
Yeah.
or no 65-inch ones at $1,100.
Right.
Okay. What kind
Right
do you
now-
have?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jason. Well, Jason and Steph. What kind of TVs you guys have?
I have a Samsung 40-inch 4K. That's not supposed to be HDR, but it is HDR.
Yeah, the magical upgrade you got before.
Magic upgrade, yeah.
I use a monitor, 1440p monitor to game
Nice.
because I like that low input lag. So
Well,
one
the
millisecond.
TCL is 15 millisecond, so that's why
Yeah,
a 65-inch 15 millisecond lag would be
that's pretty good
it's
actually
fucking
for
insanely good.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But I like that one millisecond. So I'm
No, I
probably
feel
gonna
you, I
upgrade
feel you.
my monitor. I don't like gaming on humongous TVs, so I'm more of a monitor guy because I play a lot of competitive stuff. So a smaller
Well, I'm
TV.
sitting back like about 15 feet. 10,
No,
15.
that's too far. I gotta be like
No, but I'm
1
on a
foot away.
65-inch, so it's like
Right.
it makes that's the difference.
I used to game the same way I game now, but on the 40-inch monitor or TV back in
Yeah.
the day, and then my eyes fell out of my skull. So now I'm just got it a little smaller, better pixel density. So yeah, I'm gonna upgrade to probably 4K, probably around Black Friday.
I
Probably,
sit a
'cause-
foot and a half away from a 40-inch TV.
yeah, you wear glasses already though, so I don't want to wear glasses.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm about.
The key is to leave the resolution up as if you use it as a monitor,
Mhm.
because if you make it too easy to read, it'll actually you want to exercise your eyes by you don't want to squint at everything, but you do
Mhm.
want to make it to where you practice at reading smaller text or concentrating, because if you don't concentrate, it'll actually
Jason, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna send you
for
to a
your eyes,
concentration
but,
camp.
yeah, I know.
Boom! South Park joke. Did it. Just gonna do
Nice.
it sometime. All right.
That's our Nazi joke for the day. I
Nazi
did
joke.
not see that coming.
You did not see the Nazi joke coming?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Steph, have you been playing anything?
Yes, I have been playing a lot of Cuphead. I'm on my last boss
Congrats.
on the second island.
Nice.
It's been a struggle fest. This fucking game is very unforgiving and hard. I want to say fuck the dragon with the 3 heads. I want to say fuck that guy. It's a little bastard. But if you guys are playing Cuphead still, haven't beat him, switch to the shot, the lobber. Sounds nasty when you say it, like the little purple balls or whatever. Use those because you can shoot them higher and they go a little bit further. And, with the pea shooter, it shoots straight. It's weird. I mean, if you play that level, just listen to me. Just use the purple shot. Shit works. But yeah, it's a hard ass boss, man. That last part is just pretty unforgiving. Of course, I've been playing some PUBG. Ain't stopped yet. Ain't stopped playing that shit yet. I cannot wait. Actually, the desert map. I don't know if you guys probably don't keep up with this stuff, but there's gonna be a new map that comes with the Xbox One version. It's coming to PC. Should be in the next couple of weeks. So before you guys get it here on Xbox, I can't wait to pick it up on Xbox so I can destroy you guys because I've been, I've been learning the maps. It's gonna be new to y'all. It's gonna be old to me. But,
Yeah, the city map looks pretty cool. I like the desert city map. It's
it's
interesting.
awesome, man. It looks amazing. I mean, we like when you play a Battlefield game, and it's in the city, and it's kind of like that. Like you can explore or climb on every piece of the land, but it's so much. It's like a GTA map.
Hmm.
But you don't actually break the game whenever you go high up in the air. GTA, you freaking almost break the game just by traveling so much. So, but this game, man, it's damn near perfect, man. I don't think there's anything they could do to ruin it besides maybe, I don't know, putting some zombies or some bullshit in or something like that.
I was actually gonna say that city map kind of reminded me of like Dying Light, like because that setting is very like similar.
Oh, Dying Light. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that was an awesome game, man.
Yeah, it's a good theme.
I wonder who dev that. Maybe Microsoft picked them motherfuckers up, man. That's what they didn't pick up. Pick them motherfuckers up, man.
Techland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
All right.
That's all I've been playing.
Not bad list.
Should we
Well,
bring
I
up
think-
the fact that the Xbox One X is extremely quiet and cool?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen that it actually ran cooler than the Pro, which is weird.
Yeah, it's quieter and cooler than the Pro.
Yeah, it's well engineered.
Yep.
I don't see how they did that shit.
It's called using
Combination of the
server-based
Hobbs
technology.
method and
Right.
the vapor chamber. And I think it's funny because a lot of people are like, the vapor chamber is bullshit. It's nothing different from what everyone else already used. You know,
Mhm.
that's funny because it seems to be working quite well.
Yeah, it's doing its job, man.
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is, it kind of convinces me if they wanted to, they could actually overclock this thing.
Really?
Really?
Well, yeah, considering how cool it's running and quiet. They
Man,
probably could do
it's running cool,
Probably
but
could
I don't know if it's running cool enough to overclock the motherfucker.
Well, a little
running-
bit. You
it's
wouldn't
running-
wanna-
10 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than a Pro.
Yeah, but that thing runs hot though. That thing's pretty hot.
And by the way, when I say that, the Xbox One X barely uses its fans.
That's weird, man. I don't know how they did that shit, man.
Like here, I'm sitting here playing Forza 7 in 4K right now. I
Right.
can barely feel any air coming out of the back.
All right. Yeah, I was telling some guys.
It's because your console's
some-
broke.
Yeah,
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that,
Don't
Dustin.
say
It's just fucking heated up. It's just fucking. It's fucking hot.
Right. I was telling some guys I game with, on PUBG about, this new Xbox coming out or it came out or whatever, and they're like, that's kind of weird to me that they didn't know. I feel like the launch of this Xbox was like the launch of like the next Xbox, like the 360 when it launched or something. It don't feel like just.
Well,
a
it doesn't
mid-gen.
help. Like on the PC side, it doesn't help that the second any PC gamer sees it, they instantly blow it off.
Oh well, yeah. I
Word
told
of
him. I
mouth
said,
is pretty much.
man, it's running Star Wars Battlefront at on par with PC at 4K, man, 60 frames. He's like, what?
$500.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's a lot of money. Not for a PC playing 4K.
Yeah,
Star Wars Battlefront at Ultra. It's
I'm actually looking to upgrade my PC to because AMD released their new chipsets, and just to get a motherboard to support the new CPU, it's minimum for a normal size motherboard, not like a mini one, but a normal size motherboard. It's like $350 or $250,
yeah.
just half the price of the Xbox One X. So.
Yep. It's not fucking cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for the show this week because some of these microphones really starting to act up too.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff I've been playing is just like basically all the games I
Oh,
listed today.
okay.
So
Sorry, Will.
it's like no, it's no problem. It's just like it's the same stuff I've been playing on the X. So the only thing I would have to say is Super Lucky Sale is really fun. Definitely check it out. Especially for that price, it's a good price. But besides that, yeah, I've been playing pretty much everything on the X. So what haven't I been playing?
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. Like I've been just playing the X the whole time.
That's great.
I need to continue playing fucking The Wolf Among Us on my phone so I can finish it. I need to be all caught back up.
On your phone? Don't be
Yeah,
playing on your phone.
on my Note 8, I bought the whole thing of The Wolf Among Us. And I've been
Wow.
using an Xbox One controller hooked to my phone to play it.
I guess it's big enough to be like, it's bearable, right?
No, but it's like a great game to sit there like at work during lunch and just like fucking have something for 30, 40 minutes to hold your interest and
True
not
that.
just be fucking Candy Crush or some stupid little. I hate most phone games. Like I've learned that. I went through the store again just like looking for games, and I hate phone games. But Telltale games work on phones. It's simple simple button interaction. The storytelling's great. It works.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
most
hear you.
phone games are fucking garbage. And I hate to be that guy, but they are. They're just fucking terrible. Even the supposedly good phone games, like I don't get it.
Well, I used to like Marvel Contest of Champions. I thought that was pretty good until they kind of messed up all the updates. So, and then, it was kind of annoying. But yeah, I hear you, man. Cell phone games are a dime a dozen, and not all of them are that good, So,
They're
Flappy Bird's
definitely not
fantastic.
equal.
Talking about.
no, not at all. But I do want Spartan Strike on Xbox One. Make that happen. 343 or whoever. We need that game.
All right. Well, has anybody got any other games they want to talk about before we end the show?
I'm good, man.
I think we're good.
Long live the X. X
Long
gonna give
live
it to
the
you.
X.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking and having y'all join us this week. We will be back next week, 5 p.m. or no, 8 p.m. Eastern, not 5. 8 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. That's right. I
Yes,
think all
sir.
that is true.
5 p.m. on Sundays. No.
Yeah. Well, we'll catch y'all next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Please write us in at letters@xboxuncut.com. Tell us what you think, what you want to do. What should we talk about? What's the next big game on the Xbox One X?
Yes,
Or-
please write in.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, it is. All right. Catch y'all later. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out. Thanks,
Hey, guys.
guys, for stopping in the chat.
Thanks for coming out.
Yep. Thanks, Cognito, Psychotron, MT Rails.
Thanks for participating, man.
Yep. Thanks, Stargazer.